Hey guys, Daniel Cordy here, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be ranking all the iPhones. Today I have the iPhone 5C ranked as last place because it brought almost nothing, and it's the only D tier iPhone that I have. But next up we have the iPhone 4S. Why? The 4S brought Siri, upgraded internals, and a better camera. Not that big. And so, at number 19 tie, we have the iPhone XS and XS Max. They brought upgraded internals. That's it. And at number 17, we have the iPhone 8. It pretty much only brought wireless charging. And at number 16, we got the iPhone 6. It brought a big redesign, but that's about it. Like, it had the same RAM as the 5S, and it had the first generation Touch ID as the 5S. And it only brought a redesign, and it also had bin gate and lots of problems, too. And we have our Sea King at number 15, the iPhone 6 Plus. It was pretty much the iPhone 6, but it brought more upgrades, like a optically stabilized camera. And it had a bigger screen, so it was the true 6 Plus anyways. And coming in at our B tier, our first B tier iPhone, number 14, the iPhone 8 Plus. It brought dual cameras. No, it didn't bring dual cameras. It actually just had dual cameras, and that's why it's higher. So don't get me wrong here. Number 13, we have the iPhone XR. It was pretty much the budget version of the XS, but it actually brought some like, it was actually a decently good phone. Like, it was slightly better. No, it wasn't better than the XS, but it brought a bit more changes, and it's kind of weird to have these things. And at number 12, we have the iPhone SE. It was the 6S version of the 5S, or 5. And it actually was it is a pretty good phone, kind of like a budget 6S. Number 11, we have the iPhone 3G. It brought 3G cellular, and new design with metal buttons and a plastic back. But 3G was enough to get it on B tier. It's a pretty big feature. And at number 10, we have the iPhone 6S. It was pretty much the good version of the 6. 2 gigs of RAMs, second generation Touch ID, and it also brought a little bit more than that, too. It's pretty good. Number 9, we have the iPhone 7. I accidentally wrote 6S Plus, so I scratched it out. And our B King, number 8, iPhone 6S Plus. It was pretty much the better 6S. Now, it also had optical stabilization, but didn't bring it. It had better camera, same thing, but same thing as the 6, and it was pretty much a better version of the 6S. At our first A tier, number 7, the iPhone 3GS. It brought video recording, 3-megapixel camera. It got 2 more iOS updates than the 3G, and overall, it was more than just 3G cellular. It also brought new 3G cellular, like it brought 7.6 megabits per second HSDPA. But the 3G basically now has quad band. And at number 6, we have the iPhone 7 Plus. Why is it this high? Because it actually brought a dual camera to the table. It did. Like, it actually brought that. The dual camera was pretty good, and it could zoom in 2 times without losing detail. That's the main thing, because you could zoom in 2 times with the XR, you just lose detail. And at number 5, we have our A King, the iPhone 4. It brought a huge redesign. It also had like things like FaceTime with the front-facing camera. And it continued to receive updates to iOS 7, which is great. It was slow, though, on 7.0. And our S tier. Our first S tier device. Number 4, iPhone 5S. It brought Touch ID and a new chip, and that's it. But Touch ID is a grand addition. So, yeah. Forward thinking. Number 3, we have the iPhone 5. iPhone 5. Bigger display. It brought a bigger display. It had a 1080p camera, even though the 4S made that. And it was great. It continued to receive updates until iOS 10. It was a great iPhone. And our number 2 iPhone 10, it brought a humongous, one of the biggest redesigns we ever had in the iPhone lineup now. And it had brought Face ID, and it also had like a lot to bring too. In addition to that, like the A12 Bionic chip, the dual cameras facing up and down. And it was just even though it had $1,000, it was probably well worth it. Number 1, iPhone 2G. Most people automatically put this as an S tier because it's the original, but they never give it this much credit. It's number 1. It brought a multi-touch LCD display, and it also brought a mini camera on the go, so people no longer had to bring a digital camera. It brought a music player that had a email in it and a phone. And speaking of email, you could have like desktop email anywhere, which is probably what the older phones have, but still. The iPhone also brought some really good additions, like I just said, like the multi-touch display. Like, so many people have this. Like, it was at least 5 years ahead of its time. Like Steve Jobs said, it had one of the first operating systems. No, not one of the first, but one of the best operating systems to ever be on a phone. So the iPhone 2G pretty much reinvented everything. And it was great addition to our lives. Thank you guys so much for watching. And iPhone 3GS Modern Torture Challenge coming soon with a new video ideas. You guys won't even know when I get it because I will make the only one video at the end of the week. Probably what I should have done with the 3G. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye.